I love making art that I don't need or don't even want to sell, or more importantly, that I don't have to sell. I have peace around making art now that I didn't have for a long time. After a lifetime of gleaning some or all of my living through art making, I've broken off from that part of my creative path. And I found a new way to walk out the rest of my journey with a paintbrush or a pencil in hand and a few stories to tell. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with making and selling art, except that maybe it, except for maybe the struggle that it can sometimes create around having to be or trying to be successful at doing so, or at doing both the making and the selling. I used to see this at markets a lot. Someone would pour their heart and soul into their creative work and eagerly cart it all to market and set it up along with their expectations that it would sell, and they would have the means to pay their bills and buy more supplies and do it bigger and better next time. But I saw many of them make nothing, or worse, spend what they didn't have, what they couldn't afford to spend. Some returned anyway to try it again the next market. Some did not. I was one that kept coming back, and yes, I did figure out how to make my art pay the bills, and some of that was great fun. I'm forever grateful for those experiences. But it took a lot of time and energy away from me that I could have been using for just making art if I had known how. I feel extremely fortunate today to be retired with a modest income that pays the bills and leaves me free to make art every day that I choose to, and I choose to do that most every day. And I'm not at all adverse to having my art sell or turning my art into a product that might sell and fund my passion. In fact, I'm working on an illustrated book right now, and I hope the sale of it will at least cover the cost of production. But the important place for me to stay right now is there with the making of the art, right there with the joy of discovering what it is that I feel like saying with my color choices or my mark making, right there with the joyful dream of entertaining a child looking at the art in that book someday, right there with a very deep desire to dedicate the finished book of drawings and rhymes to my granddaughters, who were the inspiration for all of them, not with trying to make an income from that art making. I hear so many stories from people who can't trust themselves to make art because they don't know if they can make art good enough to sell, and they equate selling art with being successful at making art. They are entirely two different things. If you want to and can do both, bless you, carry on. But if the fear of being able to sell your work, your art, or not and it's keeping you from making it, please refocus. Just make the art. I really didn't know what to draw or paint today, and I just followed a desire to draw my hat. A hat that I had made, but evidently left on a train yesterday. It was there when I got on the train, and I didn't have it when I got off. And I really like that hat. It's not the hat in the photograph early on in this video. It's another hat. So I decided to draw it, to draw a memory of my hat. And it brought up other memories, like wearing it under an umbrella. I had some fun making marks on that hat, an umbrella drawing, and I started to wonder where the hat could go next in a drawing. Here's a bonus tip for you. The more you draw from life, the more practice you will have that you can apply to your imaginative drawing. You can draw your imaginative stories that are in your heart because of all the practice you've had out there. So keep drawing, keep looking. Anyway, I was just going to make one drawing of my hat, and then I was inspired. What if my hat and me went with all my art supplies for a walk? What if I made a painting in the studio wearing my hat? I could go on, but the day was already getting kind of long. Maybe tomorrow I'll ask the question, what if I added some color? And I'll come back and show you what happened. Thanks for watching.
Trusting your instincts, realize that knowing looks different to each. When living authentic, do more exploring. It's deeper than knowing just what is essential for life that is thriving. Go deep, mute out the chatter, feel it, burn off the fire, let go until there's peace to your core. Live a life you adore. Silence the noise away from the program, removing performance, true self, all that's standing. Live free from worry, live by just being.